Whether you're dreaming of hitting the road, already out here living the RV life, or part of our amazing circle of friends or family, or if you're just watching us to make yourself feel better about your own life decisions, this one's definitely for you. Today's video isn't a wild adventure, no dramatic hikes, no sketchy off-road turns, and not a single wild animal. Well, unless you count Dean saving more jellyfish. This is a rest day. We're in Seaside, Oregon, soaking up the local vibes and doing one of our favorite things, wandering a small-town farmers market, which might sound ordinary until you realize how extraordinary these places can be when you're full-time on the road. For us, markets are more than just produce. They're a way to connect, to meet with the locals, to get a feel for the town's rhythm, and to ask those all-important questions like, where's the best chowder? And are there any hidden gems we should explore? Sometimes we find museums, festivals, charity events, or even just a great coffee shop with killer vibes. And sure, we also grab some fresh veggies and maybe a loaf of sourdough if we're lucky. But most of all, it's about getting out, exploring like a local, and remembering that some of the best moments aren't planned at all.
Seagulls are nesting in the soft sand, so be careful where you step.
Seaside's beach has been drawing families for over a century. Back in the early 1900s, this was the vacation spot for Portlandiers, and now, here we are, full-time RVers from the south, showing up in long sleeves and jeans like we've never seen a beach before. But hey, no regrets. The beach was perfect, the sun was shining, the Pacific was doing its thing. No fog, no rush, just the kind of day that makes you slow down on purpose. The kids made a beeline for the water because, of course, they didn't believe us when we said it was cold. Spoiler, it was absolutely cold. We spent an hour or two wandering the beach, rescuing jellyfish from drying out because Dean and Gertie are now self-declared squishy animal rangers, watching the gulls nesting in the soft sand, and launching our little pocket kites into the salty breeze.
While I was beachcombing on Seaside, Oregon, I found this cool button. When we get home, I'll probably clean it up.
Go fly a kite. He's not going up to the highest height though.
All around us, people were soaking it in, playing beach volleyball, flying kites, laying out in the sun, jumping in the waves as they crashed on the beach. There was even a family doing sandcastle lessons from an obvious pro. This beach has a rhythm to it, and if you give yourself the space to listen, you'll catch it. Waves rolling in, laughter riding in the wind, and that deep breath kind of feeling that maybe, just maybe, this is exactly where you're supposed to be. No agenda, no itinerary, just sunscreen, sea air, and a reminder that the real magic, it's in the unscripted stuff.
A little bit more, you get it higher, and then once it gets up, then you gotta let it out.
When our feet were sufficiently sandy, we wandered up onto the Seaside Promenade, or as the locals call it, the Prom. Built in the 1920s, it stretches 1.5 miles along the coast, lined with oceanfront hotels, saltwater taffy shops, and surf culture vibes everywhere you look. But it's not just for people watching and waffle cones. Right in the center stands the end of the trail monument, commemorating the Lewis and Clark expedition. This spot marks the westmost point of their journey. As full-time travelers, this one hit different. And now, here we are, at the end. Seaside, Oregon, the place where the core of discovery finally reached the Pacific after thousands of grueling miles. From Tennessee forest to Oregon fog, we followed their footsteps, and standing here, it felt full circle. So we went to Fort Clatsop, and they told us that the fort was running out of salt, and so there were members of the party that had to come over here and do a salt spill. They walked from the fort, so it would have been, a day's walk, and they would reduce it down and evaporate all the water and then take the salt. 7 weeks, they produced 28 gallons of salt that Captain Lewis found to be excellent, fine, strong, and white. Just a short stroll from the boardwalk, tucked quietly into a little neighborhood, is one of Seaside's coolest secrets, the Lewis and Clark Salt Works. Cool, huh? When the core of discovery ran low on salt in the winter of 1805, they came right here to this spot to boil seawater around the clock for nearly 2 months, just to preserve their food. There's no big museum or flashy signs, just a small stone kettle replica and a plaque. But standing there, you realize this is where survival met strategy, and it still smells like sea air and campfire history.
The one thing I like to do when I'm in Seaside is like walk around, because as you can see, I like walking around because magnificent blackberries from the blackberry bushes.
We wrapped up the day by wandering the downtown strip, which feels like a mashup of local boardwalk nostalgia and local artisan flair. There's a retro movie theater, bumper cars, a tilt-a-whirl, arcade, ice cream, all the fun stuff.
What is that?
We didn't jump onto any rides. Gertie was just a little too short, and Dean gave us a solid maybe next time. But we scoped it out for future visits, and then we found ourselves under the big Seaside Aquarium sign. No plan, no cameras, just a line and a moment. To our fellow RV families, let this be your reminder. It's okay to slow down. You don't have to hike every trail or capture every moment. Some days, the best memories are made in the quiet in-between spaces. To our subscribers, friends, and family, thank you for cheering us on. Your support helps us keep exploring, keep learning, and keep sharing this wild ride with the world. If you enjoyed this, tag along. Hit the like button, subscribe, and maybe even check out our Patreon. We'd love to send you a postcard or just say hi. And whenever you're on your own journey, remember, slow down, breathe, and of course, never stop exploring.